You're standing in your backyard. Your dog walks to their usual spot, circles twice, crouches down, and then they look directly at you. Not a glance, not a flicker, a full, unwavering, deeply serious stare. Right, into your eyes. While they poop, or you've laughed about it. You've looked away, slightly uncomfortable. Maybe you've even whispered, "A little privacy, buddy?" But here's what almost no one ever stops to ask. Why? Not haha, why? Actually, why? Because what's happening in that moment, between you and your dog, is stranger, deeper, and more emotionally significant than anything you've been told. The most common answer you'll find goes something like this. Dogs are vulnerable when they poop. In the wild, a squatting animal can't run. So they look to their pack, their protector, to make sure the coast is clear. It's a clean answer. It feels right. And it's not wrong. It's actually rooted in something real. Dogs evolved from wolves, social hunters who survived because they watched each other's backs. An animal with its guard down, unable to sprint, needed someone else's eyes on the perimeter. So the behavior got baked in over thousands of generations. Look to the one you trust when you're exposed. Most people hear that, nod, feel a little warm inside, and move on. But that explanation is a sketch. What the science actually shows is a full painting, one that changes how you understand not just this moment, but the entire relationship you have with your dog. Let's start where this behavior actually begins, inside the nervous system. When a dog begins to defecate, something physiologically significant happens. The body activates the parasympathetic nervous system, sometimes called rest and digest. Heart rate slows, muscles release tension, digestive processes complete themselves. This is the biological opposite of the fight or flight response. What that means, neurologically, is this. A dog in the act of elimination cannot fully spike cortisol, cannot engage complete motor readiness, cannot initiate a rapid escape response. For those 15 to 30 seconds, they are, in the most literal, biological sense of the word, completely vulnerable. Now here's where it gets interesting. For the past 2 decades, a research group at Budapest's Eötvös Loránd University, known as the Family Dog Project, has been studying something that most scientists once dismissed as too soft to study: the emotional bond between dogs and humans. And what they found changed the field. In a landmark study, dogs were placed in unfamiliar, mildly stressful environments. New rooms, strange objects, uncertain situations. The researchers measured how the dogs behaved when their owner was present versus absent. The results were unambiguous. The owner's physical presence didn't just comfort the dogs, it neurochemically regulated them. Their cortisol dropped, their exploratory behavior increased, their stress response quieted. The owner functioned, in the language of the researchers, as a secure base. That term, secure base, comes directly from developmental psychology. It's the concept John Bowlby introduced in the 1960s to describe how human infants use their primary caregiver as an emotional anchor. The infant explores the world, gets overwhelmed, returns to the caregiver, feels safe, ventures out again. The research showed dogs do exactly the same thing. With you. But there's a second layer, and this is the one that most people have never heard. In 2015, a team led by neuroscientist Miho Nagasawa at Azabu University in Japan published a study in one of the most prestigious journals on Earth, Science. They measured oxytocin levels, the neurochemical associated with bonding and trust, in both dogs and their owners during interaction, specifically during mutual eye contact. When a dog and owner held each other's gaze, both animals showed a significant increase in oxytocin. Not just the dog, both of them. The researchers described it as a co-evolved bonding loop, a feedback mechanism between 2 species that developed over at least 15,000 years. of living side by side. The same neurochemical circuit that fires between a mother and her newborn child fires between you and your dog when you look into each other's eyes. Now bring all of that back to the backyard. Your dog is in a state of peak neurological vulnerability. Their body cannot run. Their stress response is offline, and the brain automatically, evolutionarily, without thinking, reaches for the one stimulus that activates the secure base response, the one face that triggers an oxytocin release. The attachment figure, you. Step back from the science for a moment and just sit with what this actually means. Your dog lives in a world they didn't choose and don't fully understand. They can't read a calendar. They don't know if you'll come back when the door closes. They can't ask questions or explain their fear. What they can do, what 15,000 years of coevolution has exquisitely equipped them to do, is raid you. Your face, your posture, your scent, your energy. And in the one moment every day when their body is completely defenseless, when every biological protection is offline, they turn to the one being their nervous system has decided is safe. They're not asking you to stand guard. Not really. They're doing something far more tender than that. They're saying, I trust you enough to be completely unguarded in front of you. Think about what that means in human terms. We lock bathroom doors. We perform strength. We hide our most vulnerable moments even from people we love. Your dog doesn't do that. Not with you. That stare, the one you've laughed at, looked away from, felt mildly weirded out by, is one of the most unfiltered expressions of trust one living creature can give another. Every single day, they choose you for that moment. So, what do you actually do with this? First, stop looking away, When your dog makes eye contact in that moment, a calm, gentle return gaze reinforces exactly what they're reaching for. The signal that says, yes, I see you. You're safe. I'm here. You don't need to make a production of it. No theatrics, just soft eyes, quiet presence. That's enough. That's actually everything. Second, notice what your dog does when you're not there. Dogs left outside alone often show increased scanning behavior during elimination, looking around, alert, sometimes rushing. Some dogs hold it longer than necessary near the door. That's not bad training. That's not stubbornness. That's an attachment figure being unavailable at the exact moment the nervous system is asking for one. Third, and this is the one that shifts everything, use this as a calibration. A dog that stares at you calmly during elimination has built secure attachment. They feel genuinely safe. A dog that can't relax, who goes quickly with a tense body, who avoids eye contact, who prefers far corners or hidden spots, may be telling you something quieter and more important. Not that they're broken, not that you've failed, but that there's more safety left to build between you. The bathroom habits of your dog are a window into how safe they feel in your world. That's not a metaphor. That's behavioral science. We spend so much time wondering if our dogs love us the way we love them. We look for it in tail wags, in greetings at the door, in the way they press against our legs at night. But maybe the truest answer doesn't come in the excitement. Maybe it comes in the stillness of an ordinary afternoon, in the backyard, when your dog is at their most exposed, their most unguarded, their most real, and they turn around and look for you. Not because you have food, not because something is wrong, not because they need anything at all, just because you are the center of their felt sense of safety in the world. The next time it happens, don't look away. Look back, because in that 20-second window, you are witnessing something that took 15,000 years to build. That's not a bathroom habit. That's a love language. Does your dog do this? Do they look at you every single time, or only sometimes? Are they a starer, or a please give me some privacy kind of dog? Drop it in the comments. Seriously, I read everyone, and I want to know. And if this made you see your dog a little differently today, share it with someone who needs to know just how much their dog trusts them.